They're not alive.
All right. Okay, welcome everybody. We are at the Committee on Development and Planning for July 20th. We do have Council Member Navarra Martinez not able to be here today. Well, if she is, she may show up at a future time, but she's not here right now. But with that, we do have the minutes from the June 15th meeting.
I motion June 15th, 2026 minutes as presented.
Okay, we have a proper motion in place. All those in favor, please state by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Now, at this time, we are to public comment on agenda items. Is anybody here from the public that would like to speak on any of the agenda items? You have up to 3 minutes. Not seeing anybody here. Anybody online virtually?
There's no one online.
Okay, well, then I guess we will move past the public comment section and go right into business. So first discussion action item we have is B, resolution of reappointment of Katie Alexander as an at-large member of the Planning Commission for a term to expire 30th, 2030. Katie, you mind coming to the table? Thanks for being here, Katie. Thanks for your continued support on the Planning Commission. I guess this is the time to just explain a little bit about yourself, you know, why you obviously you've been doing this for a while. I appreciate you still wanting to do this. Has anything changed with your address or?
All the same, yeah, same address. But yes, happy to talk a little bit about myself. So I think I've met several folks before, but I'm Katie Alexander, Vice Chair on the Planning Commission currently. I've been on, oh golly, I want to say about 7, 8 years now. Have really enjoyed doing it. Have a master's in urban planning, which is part of the reason I got drawn in a little bit to the commission, and just appreciate that I'm able to hear information that comes from individuals across the community. So we're excited to hopefully continue my work on the commission. And I guess in my non-commission work, I work for the Department of Health and Human Services and manage the Medicare counseling program. So do a little bit more public health related items, and get to live over in the West Side neighborhood, beautiful West Side neighborhood with my family. So that's pretty much about me. I don't know, happy to answer questions and talk a little bit more about the work on the commission, but.
Can you just real quick, can you just mention, it says Safe Routes to School?
Yes,
Can you
yeah.
talk a little bit?
I used to, so was the director for the Safe Routes to School program for the Michigan Fitness program, but also contractor for the Michigan Department of Transportation for a number of years. So I've actually transitioned to another role with the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, but that work was for the state of Michigan, where we assisted communities across state, so cities, counties, townships, to implement infrastructure across their community to help make it safer for students to walk and bike to school.
Great.
Yep.
Well, thanks you for your continued advocacy for the city of Lansing. Tamara, do you have anything?
Yeah, so you said 7 years you already been on the.
Yeah, 7 years. I'm trying to like do
Time.
the work back.
Yeah, curious, is there anything that you see that could be improved, or any different changes that you could see with the Planning Commission and how individuals bring their projects to you and having those discussions, having that community input prior to coming out of Planning Commission? Have you thought about any different processes going forward?
Yeah, great question. So I think in terms of process regarding individuals bringing items to the commission, I mean, there are times where we have individuals who bring an item to the commission and there's a lot of public comment, which is great. I love the engagement from individuals. I think a request from my end would be that if we get a sense of that, working to accommodate that space. So we have, I think more recently, like we were able to come into council chambers. So I think that was really helpful when we were discussing, you know, conversation around the potential data center that had come up and things of that nature. But I think for me, like looking at accommodations for individuals, just to have that space to speak, because I love the Neighborhood Empowerment Center, but it can be a bit cramped when you know, and it doesn't feel very always welcoming to offer that comment. But I think that would be my biggest thing. You know, otherwise, I think we do have a great rapport with staff. They're always accommodating and going back to answer questions if we have to table an item or what have you. So I don't have any issues there or anything like that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Great. Well, I appreciate your dedication to the city. Thanks for continuing to serve on this board. You will go in front of council on the 27th. Will you be there?
Well, with a reappointment, They don't get sworn in again.
Okay, all right.
So there would no reason unless she wants to be.
Okay.
Happy to be there.
Reappointments don't have to go through the whole formal swearing in, so.
Mayor,
Gotcha.
you have something?
Yes, I have, I actually have not so much for Katie, but for legal. I know we had a lengthy discussion regarding the charter change of appointments for expirations to expire in 2029 or whichever comes first. And I think in all three of these appointments, we still have it as 2030. So, but we need to make an amendment to make these where it's June 30th of 2029 per the conversation that we just recently had.
Whatever occurs first, yes, based on the language, I would have to take a look at is the ordinance been,
The ordinance was introduced on Monday night.
it has not been adopted,
It's been introduced on Monday night.
correct?
And the ordinance specifically said exactly what she just said, that boards and commissions terms will expire in 2029. Or if they already have a term, it will follow that term, but whichever one comes first.
Whichever one comes first.
So this being, if we're doing these for 2030, the next year, these are gonna expire anyways.
Pursuant to the adoption of the ordinance, I believe.
Correct.
Yeah, so there would be nothing relative to. Then this is adopted, the other ordinance, when that takes effect, would, I think, retroactively change this one, is that correct? Based on the language?
Correct.
Yes.
So basically,
Nothing to do with regard to this.
these are gonna be adopted before that ordinance is
Right.
being adopted.
Okay.
Good catch.
I have to look at that all. I
Okay.
don't know if that was incorrect.
And on all three of them. So I guess if well, you guys can take action as is today, and then if there are changes from what you find Monday night, you can make a amendment on the floor.
Okay, any further questions or comments? All right, looking for a motion.
I entertain I'll make a motion I entertain, for the resolution of reappointment for Katie Alexander as an at-large member of the Planning Commission for a term to expire June 30th.
Okay, all right, we have proper motion in place. All those in favor, please state by saying aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Okay, next on the agenda, we have Resolution C, appointment of Jonah Stone as a first ward member of the Arts and Culture Commission for a term to expire June 30th, 2030. Come on to the table, Jonah.
All right. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. My name's Jonah Stone. I live in Rio Town, so it's not too far of a hike for me to get here, which is nice.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, Jonah, and did the mayor reach out to you or did you reach out to him about this appointment?
I reached out, I filled out the application, and then the mayor reached out to me for like a little meeting, and then talked about it, and then he later on, a couple months later, said he was recommending me for it, so.
Well, I appreciate your willingness to serve our community. I see it says you resident since 2021, forensic scientist of Michigan State, active in local civic organization, nonprofits. Just tell us a little bit about yourself and why you want to serve on this commission.
Yeah, so my name is Jonah. Well, I might as well say my middle names because it's kind of fun. William Petoskey Stone is my legit second middle name. So I got Michigan baked into my name since I was born. And I grew up in Muskegon. I love that town, but I made Lansing my home in 2023. I went to school at MSU, lived in Lansing back in 2013 to 2016. Yeah. So during undergrad, and then I went to the University of Indianapolis for a grad program, human biology for both BS, and then I have an anthropology degree. So it might seem a little weird that I'm going for arts and culture, but what I see in art is culture, and that is what is the core principles of anthropology and how humans interact with their world. Like I said, I'm a forensic scientist. I work in the DNA unit at the state police. So just on Canal in Lansing, where that big building with the blue roof on it. And, I sit at a computer most of the day looking at DNA profiles, and it's a very fun job. But in general, I like to help out. My wife works for a local nonprofit, so I like to help out with them. They're CASA for Kids. I volunteer with them a lot. I very much enjoy doing it. They call me, most of the spouses there, the voluntolds,
Mhm.
but truly I do like doing it. Um, yeah, and most of what I really want to do with this with the Arts Commission is, I was interested in those little pocket grants to give out to smaller creators to try to get more artwork on our river trail or to get artwork cleaned up because I walk the stretch from uh, the I live like right in Rio Town in the River Point neighborhood, so right there, walking downtown from there, and there's a huge line of murals, but unfortunately they've gotten, vandalized in the past. And that's what kind of drew me to this was, trying to right those wrongs, trying to maybe get, artwork more prominently displayed, uh, because that is very much like a hallmark of a great community, of a place that retains people as well, is the amenities that are around them. And that definitely includes artwork.
Right. Well, I appreciate your willingness to serve, Jonah. Is there anything about your job that would prevent you from, making meetings?
No, I am no longer on, I no longer go to crime scenes. So I have a strict 8 to 4 schedule. So.
Perfect. Okay. And my one like boilerplate question I usually ask people that are applying for commissions and boards, if you have like a cool project or some, once you get your, legs under you, would you be willing to share that at like a ward constituent meeting or an at-large constituent meeting of, different projects that may be happening around the city that you're involved in?
Absolutely, yeah. I actually just this last month was got on the Fenner Nature Center board as well. So I'm hoping that something can come of that, some sort of synergy with those things. So
That's great. Okay. Thank you. Tamara, do you have any questions or
Yeah,
comments?
no, I appreciate your interest and your passion on the mural side of it. I recently took a tour on our river trail, and then there's a lot of opportunity there. So I would love to see something come to life and make that more vibrant, because that is a hidden gem for us.
Oh, yeah.
So I would love to see some of our local artists partake in that and really beautify that area. So
I
thank you
agree.
for sharing that.
yeah, absolutely.
Well, so you'll be before our next meeting on the 27th of July. Will you be able to attend that meeting?
Yes.
Okay, it'll be 7 o'clock here and it'll be right at the front end of the meeting.
I motion the resolution appointment for Jonah Stone as the first ward member of Arts and Cultural Commission.
Okay, if you have a proper motion in place, all those in favor, please state by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. We will see you next Monday.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Thank you
Jonah.
so much for the opportunity.
Appreciate you being here.
Thank you. You have a nice day.
You as well. Okay, Resolution D, appointment of Tyson Pumphrey as a business representative of Downtown Lansing, Inc., board for a term to expire June 30th, 2030. One of those tables, sir. Appreciate you being here and your willingness to serve our community. Just like the person before you, tell us a little bit about yourself, why you want to serve, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, first name is Tyson Pumphrey. Community knows me as Jose Moore. I'm a transplant from Seattle, Washington. I've been here since '06. I'm the founder, executive director for All the Above Hip Hop Academy on 303 South Washington. Had invested interest in the community since I got here as a recording artist by trade, visual artist, turned community organizer, nonprofit executive director. We've been in existence as an org since 2011. We've just been downtown for the last 2 years. I was approached by Kathleen Edgerly to apply for this position. Took me a minute to think about what that means and how that relates to the work we do here in the community on the ground. But I have a window into kind of that intersection of Washtenaw and Washington, and we're close to the bus depot. I have an invested interest in young people here, and really want to advocate for more opportunities for them in the downtown space as we develop and build as an organization that is focused around youth mentoring and centering hip hop culture as a mechanism for good, and watching fights happen outside of my RS space. And I just can't help but to think there could be more opportunities for young people in the downtown space as we build and expand. So those are that's kind of where I'm at, accepting the opportunity.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. And downtown Lansing definitely needs, people like yourself on the board to, give that other influence and, you know, all above hip hop. I hear nothing but great things about you guys and the work you do in the community. So that's great. I appreciate your willingness to serve. Is there anything that about your job that would make you, prevent you from making meetings at times?
No, we're right downtown. The meetings are on Thursdays, from what I understand, at a perfect time. So yeah, I just put it on the calendar and on there. As long as it's on the Google Calendar, I'll be there.
Perfect. Now, and like I asked the last person, would you be willing to attend like a ward constituent meeting or at-large constituent meeting and let people know what's going on with the downtown Lansing? You guys, you get your feet under you.
Absolutely.
That's great. Thank you, sir. Appreciate your willingness to serve. Tamara, do you have anything to add?
You're so modest. I know, I follow your work. I've been a part of it. You've actually helped us on a different avenue, but just your passion to really serve for our younger generation that is upcoming, keeping that passion at the forefront as you're going into this particular board and holding true to that, because that is something that is definitely needed. And so again, continue to keeping that passion and being authentic in that walk is going to take you far. So thank you for just saying yes to the assignment. I appreciate it.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
And with that, I'll make a motion for the appointment of Tyson Pumphrey, AKA Jose Moore, as a business representative of Downtown Lansing Inc. Board member for expired June 30th.
Okay, we have proper motion in place. All those in favor, please state by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, motion passes. So will we see you next Monday on the 27th? Perfect. 7 p.m.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Have a good one. Okay, moving down to resolution E, setting a public hearing on Brownfield Plan number 91, 6420 South Cedar Street project. So anybody here that would like to speak on this, please come. It's fine, how you doing, sir.
Well, how are you?
We spoke on the phone about this a while back.
Yes, and as we spoke as well, we have one of the developers joining us virtually for this meeting. So if there's any questions there, Jeremy Foreman of GTZ Properties is here, but we'll be in person for the presentation at the public hearing. You here. So this is 6420 South Cedar Street, formerly known as the University here up on this side. University Motor Mall. And it is a brownfield plan. So in the first few slides that you see there, I have a summary of what the brownfield program is, what it's meant to do, and how it functions. And so it is a tax increment financing tool. So as someone invests in a property, increases the taxes on that, the difference between the base and the new taxable value, the tax on that can be, or a portion of those taxes can be captured essentially and used to invest in the property, reimbursed for certain activities. And so we can use this tool in many different ways. You've seen a few housing programs in that before you, but also to reactivate vacant properties, clean up properties that have environmental contamination. And that's more in line with what we're seeing here, but it also attracts additional investment, creates jobs. And so you'll see that as part of this project. But as I mentioned, the development team, it's GTZ Properties, and that includes Mitch Goltz and Jeremy Foreman. And so we have Jeremy on with us. Jeremy, if you'd want to introduce yourself briefly.
Nice name, by the way. You're on mute, sir. Are you
Didn't
able
know
to-
I could control that. So Jeremy Foreman with GTZ Properties, appreciate the opportunity to speak in front of everybody today. GTZ Properties is a retail-oriented real estate development company. We're based in Chicago, but we do work all over the Midwest, primarily for national credit tenants, national brands, regional brands, and strong local brands. So we worked on the property on Cedar Street for many years, which I'm sure we'll get into today at some point.
Thank you.
And so this property, as I mentioned, was a former University Motor Mall. It's nearly 6 acres. And the main activities here, they're three main buildings that were blighted, vacant for many years, needed to be removed. The largest of which in the back was a service center. And so there was certain environmental activities that needed to take place in order to ensure that that was dismantled appropriately and prepared that for future development. And so, as Jeremy mentioned, it took several years to purchase the property. We've seen a lot of growth along the South Cedar corridor, but this is one of the last larger properties that just for some reason remained underutilized and blighted. And so they were able to finally unlock that and acquire the property and moved really quickly after that to get some of this underway. You might be familiar with one of the tenants that's currently located on the property, recently opened the Chick-fil-A there in South Cedar. But that initial project investment, I believe this is just their activity on the site and does not include acquisition, was about $2 million. There is potential for employment of around 80 once fully redeveloped. But again, they're acquiring the property, preparing that, and attracting various users to the site. We have a rendering of potential use of the additional development locations and pads along South Cedar. And we have the list of eligible activities included within that. And so you'll see considerable amount of Eagle eligible activities, which those would be your environmental based activities. And so there's about $450,000 there. And then under MSF, which would be your non-environmental activities, although that includes asbestos and lead, that is an additional roughly $470,000. That includes site prep and demolition and remediation of lead and asbestos. And there's some of the fees and things enumerated in there as well. So the total eligible activity costs are about 1.2 million. And then the next page regarding tax capture, the way that this was structured, there is pass through, and we have that at 20%. It also pays all debt millages, and so a considerable portion of that of the potential capture goes back to the tax units. Essentially, it is not captured, so it won't impact those units as greatly. We also have the LBRA plan administration and LBRF, our revolving fund fee as well. And then there's a portion we have here at State Brownfield Fund, but this is a local only plan. I'll make sure we get that updated. So the portion to reimburse the developer, we have that, let's see here, at 400, well, that's not a slide here. I have that.
Can you elaborate what you meant by local only plan?
Yep. So depending on if we do, you can do local and then local and state. So the local taxing millages. So you have like your city operating, you have your library millage, your airport millage, the county millages. Those are all considered local. And then you have your state millages, which are your SET and school operating. And so essentially, although those are school based millages, those are received by the state, and then they disperse those out to the various school jurisdictions. And so those are considered state taxes. And so if a plan is approved at the local level and it's seeking state reimbursement, it would go to the state as well for approval. Now, we are seeking local only on this. I mentioned some of the timing of them getting it underway. While at the local level, the look back for certain activities, we can essentially go back as far as we needed. But with the state activities, they have guidelines for about a year to have those, to look back for those activities. So in speaking with our state partners and given the timing of them needing to, as soon as they acquire the property, get started to keep their tenant, by the time that I made that through this process and bring that for you, it'd be past that look back period. And so that's why we're seeking local only. But with that, we also reduce the overall capture, overall reimbursement to the developer. Again, there was over $2 million or $1.2 million of eligible costs. We did about $490,000 of eligible costs plus interest, which could potentially over 15 years be a couple $100,000 more. But we feel very confident that the other sites will get redeveloped, the taxable value will go up higher, reimbursement will happen more quickly. So we wanted to reduce the brownfield plan as well to pair with that. So we kept the taxing impact lower for local units. I know that's a really long explanation.
I appreciate it though. I mean, 'cause I know people do pay attention to these meetings online. This brownfield is a 15-year brownfield?
Correct.
Sorry, I didn't mean to stop you if you have any additional to add.
No, we just have, here's some of that, the amounts here for access to local units. We have the eligible activities maximum. And so that's at 709, about 710,000 is the maximum developer reimbursement. But again, around 500,000 of that is the core eligible costs. And then there's interest allowed in the plan. So the cost of holding those in the period of time that it takes to be reimbursed, that'd be the difference between those. But again, if they're successful in getting the rest of the property developed, it will speed up that capture and reduce the amount of interest.
And are they looking at developing like other fast food restaurants here, or is it gonna be, a possibility of other things as well?
I'll let Jeremy speak to that.
I appreciate that. We're currently working we're exploring all the opportunities. So we've been marketing the site in a variety of different site plans. We've reached out to groups like Chipotle. We've reached out to sort of general marketing, marketed the property in general, which could be a mix of food and, standard kind of traditional retail. We've been happy with some of the initial feedback that we've gotten now that Chick-fil-A is developed, open and operating, but there hasn't been any like specific user or users that have locked into this time. So the short answer is that we're marketing it for retail, but keeping our options open for those types of retailers.
And do you have any idea of like potentially how many different tenants may be in that property? You try to maximize it, or you trying to do like one or two?
We're definitely trying to maximize it. You're not asking me a question, then I have to look up something on my computer. Let's see.
I know people are interested, and now that Chick-fil-A's been there, and like Mr. Klein said, that property has been blighted for quite some time. So I know that movement, people are asking questions. So any information you're able to share, but I understand that, you just got your feelers out now.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've been talking to a number of different retailers, which I'm happy to disclose. I'm just not making any promises. Chipotle had previously been looking in the market at a property, I think a little bit to the north. We have a good relationship with Chipotle. I've been talking to them about this site. That could be part of a larger project. So to try to answer your, open the wrong thing. So I want to tell you what we're currently sort of marketing. I'm just not finding the right site plan. We've also reached out to Qdoba. We've talked to a couple of other, I think, more local groups. I'm just not finding the right site plan here, but we've done a half a dozen different site plans. I think the one that we were showing recently had, and Dave, I don't know if you have it handy, but I think could be up to 8,000 or more square feet of total retail, depending on which users come in and kind of what their layout needs are. But again, another example is we had talked to McAllister's Deli at one point. They would need a larger footprint, which would then shrink down what we could do next to them. And again, those are 3 food users that I can remember off the top of my head, but we are trying to cast a wide net to create opportunities for a variety of different retailers, whether they're national, regional, or local. And I think kind of creating the right tenant mix, because obviously if you're doing, a shoe store, you're not doing 2 shoe stores. And that's a very specific example, but there needs to be the right tenant mix. So part of this is also aggregating the information so we can come together on our own or with a development partner to create the right mix of retail. And then marrying that with who's out there and interested and understands and believes in the site as much as we did.
Update the presentation.
Yeah, if there's any new, developments that come forward before the public hearing, please share that with the crew, with us, or our crew.
Yeah.
If I
happy
can
to.
add also,
You state your name?
yeah, Dave Van Haren with Triterra. We're the author of the brownfield plan. But one thing to note also is, the site has essentially been cleared. There's 3 buildings there, a lot of blight. And essentially the site is pad ready as in terms of above ground, the building's gone and the asbestos removed. And so it is in the best interest of, for that area to have the rest of those outlots developed, because that's a lot of cost that really, that cost can't be offset by just a single development, like a Chick-fil-A $2 million investment. So I think it's just worth noting, like, this project currently took on basically 3, the removal of 3 buildings and then building 1 building, if that makes sense. So it is in the best interest to get those other outlots or the remaining 5, it's like 5.6 acres, that remaining acreage developed to make it financially viable overall.
Get that added extra context. Okay, well, so that we will be scheduling the public hearing on the 27th for August 10th. And I know you have a question or a comment. Will you guys be available for that presentation? And Jeremy and the whole team will,
Mitch,
you guys all be there?
Yeah,
Okay.
Mitch and I will most likely both be there, but at least one of us.
Appreciate that. Tamara?
Yes, I know, Mr. Foreman, it might have been you that came to a neighborhood association meeting on the 2nd Ward not too long ago and kind of talked a little bit about this project. I know there was also conversation on, so maybe at public hearing, you could speak to any impact, construction impact that this may have. I know we just recently have the Chick-fil-A, but we also have the PNC Bank there and what that would look like. Because that is a busy area with the traffic light or whatnot. So just speaking to that during the public comment as well, that would be helpful.
Sure.
Thank you.
I don't have any further things to add right now.
All right, and did you already say the date for the public hearing?
Yeah, the date will be, the public hearing will be August 10th. We will set it on our next Monday, July 27th for the August 10th public hearing.
All right, so I will move the resolution for setting the public hearing on Brownfield Plan number 916420 South Cedar Street project for the setting of on the 27th for August 10th.
We have a proper motion in place. All those in favor, please state by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, motion passes. We will see you guys on the 10th. Thank you.
Look forward to it. Thank you.
Resolution F, setting a public hearing on Obsolete Property Rehabilitation Act, the Oprah certificate for 2231 West Willow Street, AM Land Holding. And you guys came before. Do you guys have anything you would like to add? To this? Nothing additional?
The budget's gone up a little bit.
That's everyone.
I'll be very brief since we just talked about this as far as setting the district. And so that now this is coming back for the certificate, which this would be the abatement itself. So if you recall, it requires both steps to make that active. What we've updated here would be the impacts of the Oprah certificate. So I'll just go over those. I'm sorry, I don't see any page numbers on here, but correct. So on this page here, the certificate request, this breaks down what that abatement value would be. Actually, the 4th page, slide 7. So this would be a 12-year certificate. And so the tax abatement, again, it's somewhat similar to tax increment financing, but instead of capturing those taxes, this essentially freezes them. And so reduces the tax burden, allows for more operational income and ability to stabilize the project. And so the value for the tax abatement on this property over the 12 years is about $184,000. The city of Lansing portion of that being about $58,000. And then the rest are from other taxing jurisdictions. So during that same period, the tax obligation and the amount that would still be paid on the property. Over the 12 years, about 453,000. So the city of Lansing will see about 73,000 of that. And the next one, where it has impact to city of Lansing taxes, this just shows kind of the annual impact rather than, I just went over the cumulative numbers, what that means on a year-to-year basis. So you're looking at roughly, $4,000 to $6,000 per year of taxes abated. So right now, the property generates about $3,600 per year in city operating. And then something I want to point out here, as part of this, there's the expectation of new jobs being created on the site. And so this is a very rough calculation, but just to give some context, for the 20 new jobs at an average of $70,000 per job per year. We look at like 0.75%. So considering like half of those, if they're city of Lansing residents paying the full 1%, half of them not and paying the 0.5% income tax, you'd be looking at about 10,500 in annual city income taxes. So that's just additional revenue to the city that we would expect with those new jobs being created. Just again, to provide a little bit more context.
Great.
Other than that, that's like I said, these are the two main slides that have been updated as part of this to show you what those estimates and the taxing impact would be, and the interim being able to provide that time to continue working with developers on seeing how that impacts their project and putting all this together.
Appreciate that. Nothing's changed though regarding like the fleet services that you guys are providing. And you said also public can walk in there.
Yes.
All right.
Fully accessible to the public.
Great. Okay, so will you guys be available on the 10th for the public hearing as well?
Yep.
So we will be setting the public hearing for on the 27th, this next Monday for August 10th. Do you have anything to add or anything you'd like to? Well, okay, I don't have any further questions either. So
Motion to resolution setting the public hearing on the obsolete property Rehabilitation Act certificate at 2231 West Willow Street, AM Land Holdings LLC for July 27th for August 10th.
you have a proper motion in place. All those in favor, please state by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. All right, thanks you guys for investing in our city. Very much appreciate it. And with that, I don't see any further business. Oh, you go.
Real quick, I was able to review the ordinance in question that you had asked about earlier. So depending on the timing, either the ordinance will move the term back to 29, or the resolution would have to be amended if it's subsequent to the ordinance. But I think based on timing, as I've been told, the
The
resolution,
timing of the ordinance passing or the timing of,
Resolution.
either one, the resolution. The ordinance is up for consideration at the next meeting, correct?
no, yeah. Yeah, because they're just the three basic ordinances. So, yeah, they only need 5 days notice. So the ordinance, though, the hearings will be the same night that you guys pass these.
So
So it
in
won't
either
be
respect,
Tuesday.
it will only be, it will.
Yeah, it won't be for passage.
Uh-huh.
They'll have the hearing on it. So the hearing,
Right.
it won't pass until August 10th.
So there you go. Okay, so so the ordinance will in effect change the term of the appointment that is on the resolution.
So we'll go back to the 29th.
Without any required action on behalf of any. The
Okay.
ordinance will move the date, pursuant to its own terms.
Okay, so as it stands, we're good.
You're good.
Okay.
And then resolutions that you
Moving
review
forward.
subsequent to the ordinance passing, those will all have hopefully the correct date.
Okay,
Which will be 2029.
Got it.
Okay. All right, perfect.
thank you for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Appreciate
know
the
we-
clarity on that.
Yeah.
Some questions.
I hope I didn't make it muddier.
No, you didn't. Thank you. Thank you for looking into that.
Okay, no further agenda, business on the agenda. We are adjourned at 4:39. Thank you.